and more an exercise in good taste.
Obviously, if you look a little bit ridiculous and you have humongously fat legs and you wear a mini skirt, it does look ridiculous, but it's the right of every person to choose. I mean, we have men nowadays wearing high heels and leggings.
Not so long ago, the communists denounced denim as an emblem of Western decadence. Today, 80% of Russians say they're orthodox, but few are likely to surrender relatively newfound freedoms or fashions. Neve Barker, Al Jazeera, Moscow.
All right, that's the latest news from Europe. For this news hour, back now to Adrian, who's in Doha. Adrian.
Felicity, many thanks. In Nepal, a national period of mourning has been announced after the two-time former Prime Minister Krishna Prasad Bhattarai died at the age of 87. Bhattarai led a popular movement to restore multi-party democracy twice in the 1990s. He'll be cremated on Sunday. Well, also in Nepal, the country's Maoist party has agreed to join a coalition government, ending a month of political deadlock in the former Himalayan kingdom, which is still struggling to recover after its civil war. Subina Shrestha reports now from the capital, Kathmandu.
Prabha Kharka lost her husband 5 years ago in Nepal's last revolution.
At that time, everyone was protesting. My husband also joined. He used to say that we have to protest for the country, for the people and for freedom.
Pradyumna Kharka was shot dead by security forces on the 20th of April 2006. He's remembered as a martyr. After 10 years of civil war with Maoist rebels and governed by an unpopular autocratic monarch, people were angry. Opposition leaders promised to bring peace and address the country's problems. The state retaliated with violence.
This was the intersection where Pradyumna was shot. Back in 2006, there were hundreds of thousands of people on this ring road surrounding the capital. After 19 days of protest, they managed to topple the royal government. It was a time of great optimism. But 5 years and 4 prime ministers on, people have started to question the success of the movement.
Prabha is greatly disappointed.
So many people were sacrificed, so many people were wounded, and now all that the leaders want is political power. When I think back on it, my heart becomes so heavy.
After the People's Movement, the monarchy was abolished. This used to be the royal palace. Now it's the foreign ministry. These people are queuing for passports. Almost 1,000 people leave the country every day in search of a better future. Suresh Chowdhury has come to Kathmandu from the countryside to get his documents.
There is no possibility of getting employment in this country. We've got democracy, but so what?
Service is poor. Like so much else in Nepal, it can be a frustrating experience.
At the time of a movement, there's always this euphoria and a sense that you can do anything. But I think almost what's more important is who organizes the reality that comes after the movement. The political parties and the Maoists who have been in charge of restructuring Nepal have not done a very sincere job.
5 years on, the optimism has given way to disillusionment. After all the promises of those 19 days of revolutionary drama, the process of enacting real reform has proved much more difficult. Subina Shrestha, Al Jazeera, Kathmandu.
All right, sport now, and Salah's here with news of a rather damp end to a cricket match.
Thank you very much, Aidan. Well, at the Cricket World Cup, the match between Sri Lanka and Australia has been abandoned because of heavy rain in Colombo. The Group A match was a repeat of 2007 final. Sri Lanka won the toss and elected to bat, and things got off to a fiery start as Australian fast bowler Sean Tate had a difference of opinion with Sri Lankan opener Dilshan. Tate's mood wasn't improved as Dilshan pulled out just before he was about to bowl. But he had the last word as Dilshan edged to slip. Brilliant fielding by Stephen Smith then had the Sri Lankans on the back foot. A great catch to dismiss Taranga was followed up by a run out of Mahela Jayawardena. But home skipper Kumar Sangakkara's unbeaten 73 steadied the innings. Sri Lanka were 146 for 3 of 32.5 overs. When the rain came, both teams share a point each. Sunday is a huge one in Group B. It begins in Chennai, where South Africa play England. South Africans have won both their games so far and look like one of the strongest teams in the tournament. In contrast, England have had an up-and-down World Cup. Creditable tie against India was followed by that shock defeat to Ireland. South African-born batsman Kevin Pietersen should play, although it's been revealed he'll have a hernia operation after the tournament. And as a result, he'll miss the Indian Premier League.
There's still opportunity for us to win this World Cup, and there's still opportunity for us to improve and react better to these conditions. We haven't done it so far. We need to do it pretty quickly.
We've prepared for the best England team tomorrow, and we expect them to bounce back. Obviously, the Ireland win would have hurt them a lot. It was terrific for, I think, the spirit of the World Cup to watch them get the victory. But I think tomorrow will be a very, very different game.
Co-host India face off against Ireland in the other Group B match on Sunday. India started the tournament with a victory over Bangladesh and were then held by England in that dramatic tied match. They have to be on their guard against giant killers Ireland. The Irish are high on confidence after that big win over England. It was largely thanks to Kevin O'Brien, who recorded the fastest century in World Cup history.
Well, I think it was an unbelievable innings. He batted really well right from the very start. He went after the bowlers, and it was really impressive to see him change gears at the end. Because that's what was needed at that point of time. And as far as strategies is concerned, every day it's different. So accordingly, you have to plan, how a batsman is playing.
I think we've seen the way the Bangladeshis were in Bangladesh. They're pretty fanatical supporters, and I don't think India's going to be much different than that. I think it's going to be there'll be a few more in tomorrow night than what there was in Bangladesh as well. So it's a pretty special occasion, playing India in India, so it's going to be a big challenge for us, but we're looking forward to it.
Football's lawmakers say they need another year to decide whether or not to introduce goal line technology. It was this disallowed goal by England's Frank Lampard against Germany in the World Cup in South Africa that brought the issue to the fore once again. Last year, the International Football Association Board voted against having a system in place that would show if the ball had crossed the goal line. But since then, FIFA President Sepp Blatter has softened his stance on using technology, saying he would consider it. An IFAB meeting in Wales has decided that further testing of the technology is needed before a final decision is made. Manchester United's lead at the top of the English Premier League could be cut to just a point. United travelled to Liverpool on Sunday, so Arsenal have a chance to close the gap. The Gunners are currently hosting struggling Sunderland. It's half-time at the Emirates Stadium and it's still 0-0. Meanwhile, the team who beat Arsenal in last weekend's English League Cup final, Birmingham, lost 3-1 to West Brom in the early kick-off. In Spain, Real Madrid coach Jose Mourinho has played down reports that someone tried to stab him. It was reported that the 48-year-old Portuguese was attacked as he signed autographs